Good morning, everybody. This is Aaron from Never Peak Media, and what we'll be doing today is a quick tutorial on how to build a landing page from scratch on Unbounce. So, to fill everyone in, if you're not familiar, what landing pages are. So if you ever clicked on an advertisement before and you've gotten taken to a page that's basically trying to sell you something or trying to get you to subscribe to something, then that is what we consider a landing page. Now, a lot of us might use landing pages or want to use landing pages for building Facebook ad campaigns and scaling them, or whatever the service or product you're trying to sell might be. So this can be a really useful tool. So we're going to hop right in and go about things. Here we go. All right. So one of the easiest ways to use Unbounce to do this, first off, there's a ton of software out there that you can use to build landing pages. Unbounce is just the one that I choose to use just because of the fact that I got introduced to it through a program that I did. It was Sam Ovens' course, How to Start a Consulting Program Online. So he recommended using Unbounce for building landing pages for that. So that's why I originally started using Unbounce, but as I've done like my research and due diligence, Unbounce really is one of the best platforms, and it really depends what your goal is. But if you wanted to just simply build a landing page from scratch, one of the best ways to do that goes about basically using an already created template. So essentially, templates are pre-created landing pages that already exists, and all you have to do is basically click it, download it, and you edit it to basically go about tailoring whatever product or service you're offering. So if you want to do that, after you've created an Unbounce page, you hit create a new page in the top left, and that will take you to a ton of templates. So it really depends what your goal is, right? And the beauty of it is you can click on a template, you preview it right here, kind of shows you the gist of what's going on and really designing it toward your campaign. Now, what I've learned through making, at this point, quite a few landing pages is these templates are really good starting points, but they're never going to be your end point. So great to start with, great to give you an idea of where you want to begin, but you're going to have to make edits in between and add a few things in to really optimize the conversions on that landing page. So we'll do a simple example here. Let's say we're going to do a lead generation campaign. So lead generation, let's say that we'll go off of a situation that one of my clients, or one of our former clients, went about doing. So they're a clinical research study, so they were trying to recruit patients, right, to bring into their clinical research study. So let's use that as an example, right? So say we're a clinical research study, and that's my client. And I'm saying say you are, just to put yourself in the mind state, because when you make ad campaigns and when you make landing pages, you want to put yourself, one, in the mind state of your client, and that comes from market research and due diligence there. But two, you want to put yourself in the mind state of someone that's clicking on an advertisement and ending up at the landing page. So we'll go straight into things. So let's find a good template. I got a new one up here in the right corner. This actually looks like a pretty good template to start with. Let's see what else we're looking at. Okay. We have this one right here. Service callback is what it's called. I'm not really too big of a fan of that. I have this one right here. That one's okay too. Nothing crazy. I personally like the aesthetics on the top one the best. So let's go with that guy today. So we'll say start with this template, and we'll say Unbounce training template. We'll say clinical research recruiting. So we'll hit start with this template. And what that will do is it will then take you to the editor page. So, and basically the gist with Unbounce, guys, is that it just comes down to practice. It comes down to practice and just doing it consistently. So I'm going to show you all the basics of the program, just outlining it from a really surface level perspective on how to do things. But where you're really going to get good at building landing pages is just by doing a shit ton of them and testing. But I would really recommend using Unbounce's blog that has resources on there, because that, like, what I've learned in digital marketing from having worked in this industry for the past few months at least, is all these companies want to help you succeed on their platform. So normally their blogs are going to have information that support that. And then another good book I would say for landing pages is called You Should Test That by Chris Goward. I'm going to link that in the description below. But let's walk through this. So we have our template landing page right here. Not too shabby. So let's say we're a clinical research study. So probably going to change this, and this is what we would consider maybe our headline for our landing page. And we want our headline to match our advertisements, right? So apply for a clinical study today. So boom, we have that here. So we have our headline, and this is a little weirdly spaced. So what I'm going to do is go to line height, space it out a little bit more. That's pretty good. I'm going to have to do some minor adjustments just to make this look okay. Boom, that looks way better. And I'm probably going to move these guys around. It's really easy with Unbounce. It's pretty much drag and drop. So bring this down. So they have it in a box right here. So let's drag this maybe up a little bit. Cool. It seems I have this set up as a box too. So let's see if we can edit this and pull this down. So that's one option. I'm just going to get rid of this fucking box. Let's go undo. So basically you're just watching me toy around with what the due diligence in creating a landing page requires. So I'm just going to get rid of this, to be honest. But we have our headline right here, apply for a clinical study today. What the heck is going on there? It's like it deleted the whole top portion. There we go. So when you're toying around with Unbounce, it's literally just a learning process in itself. So let's just underline this for the hell of it. Make it bold. So your editor is where you can pretty much do everything, and it makes it really easy. Now, how things are set up. So they had a really good template. I just got rid of these little lines above my headline for purposes of it being kind of annoying and respecting your time. But at the end of the day, you want to highlight your headline in some way, so that box was a good way to do so. Over here in our left column, we have a ton of different options for how to do that. So it's really with Unbounce, like I said, just toying around with this and finding the best ways to do things. But let's go over here to our calls to action. So we're going to probably change this. So like I said, our headline on our landing page must match our headline on our advertisement. This is so it limits the anxiety of people as they get to your landing page and will lead to better conversions. I've learned that through experience, but also through all the books that I've read, things in even Unbounce's blogs themselves on this kind of stuff. It's huge. So basically, limited spots, sign up today. Okay. A huge thing with landing pages I've learned is creating a sense of scarcity in terms of what's offered on the landing page, so people are more inclined to buy it. And that's just a point I partially learned from when I used to work in sales, but it also applies here to landing pages. So sign up now. So on the right here, you'll see that this is our call to action button. So they have this preset for us, but say we wanted to put another call to action. So we have one down here. Say we wanted to put even a third one somewhere on the page, right? So to do that, you would drag a section. Section is right up here. And to get a call to action, You just grab this motherfucker, and boom. Alright, so then there's your call to action. You can edit everything related to it. It's really easy to edit these things, guys. So basically, this is all the geometry behind it. So your width, your height, etc., your position of it. But I honestly just kind of like play around with it this way. That's the easiest way to do it, in my opinion. But essentially, that's how you would go about creating a call to action button. Everything related to the color, what you want from it, what you want it to say, where you want it to go. So this is where you want it to go when people click on this. Go to URL. That's where you have basically options. So a light box is when they would be taken to a little box that pops up on the same page. So showing a light box. So action showing a light box, you choose a light box. So there's a ton of options. I'm not going to go too in depth with that right now, mainly just logistics, but that's how you would essentially go about doing that. Now, let's undo this. So to undo anything, unbounces that's the only thing I realized with unbounces, they're a little slow with that, but either way, still works. So we have our clinical research landing page right here. Let's get an image that correlates with what we're saying. So to do that, I'm probably just going to go, I get all my shit off Google Images, guys. So I'm going to find an image right now that correlates with what we're talking about. Sometimes you can have it match the image on your ad, but most of the time I have those two differentiated. So let's say happy clinical research patient. People like people that are happy, guys. So when they see happy people on anything, that means that they're gonna start to feel happy. So here we have this one right here from another clinical research company. This could be a good image to use. Let's say, gotta go with the color too. That's what we're looking for. So it all depends on our advertisement, right? Apply for, and it depends on who our target market is. So if our target market is younger people, this might be an ad that correlates better. If our target is older people, then yeah, you know, this might be more correlated. And I think older people probably would be more correlated to an advertisement for essentially clinical research studies. So we'll just assume that, but then again, you have to do your due diligence in market research to really understand these things. But here, let's throw this image in there. So I went to background and I clicked change image. So we're going to open up our gallery. I'm going to hit upload new images. And see, I have this little guy right here on the side. Whenever this guy loads up for us. There we go. Thank you, Unbounce. All right. Desktop. There we go. So we'll wait for that to upload. All right, there we go. So now we just hit choose with this image that is uploaded, and boom, we changed our image. So where you can edit the image is going to be over here on the right. So you edit the position. So we want to kind of see these guys' face, and then again, so your opacity is how transparent the image is. So by editing that, it's going to mess around with that a little bit, right? But either way, so I'm kind of in a point where I'm just seeing this old dude's face. So I probably want to adjust it so I can see the whole couple. Yeah, that's not going to work. So this is really just a matter of toying around with that. And so then this probably wouldn't even be the best image for me to use, because, or basically if it were, I would probably move this over, move this to the right. But I think the setup they have is good, but you know, let's do that for the hell of it. And Unbounce is really good about making things easy in terms of a standpoint of moving things around. It's really just drag and drop. So boom. Now that looks a little less fluid. If I went to this landing page, I probably wouldn't want to do that. But for purposes of just like, I would say having a good image correlate with things, you want to see the people smiling. Let's see how we can play around with this. So I'm going to drag this down a little bit. What I can do actually, so to extend your section, you can pull this down, and that makes your section a little bigger. Okay, so I'm seeing old dude's face a little more, but I kind of want to see both of them, right? So basically, I think shrinking this up would be good. So Yazza Digital, thank you for the template. Appreciate it. All right, perfect. Let's drag this down. And I say the best way to do this one, now that we have this situated, is make it a form of long copy. So we'll drag this over here. Apply for a clinical study today, right? Probably make it centered so you can even just see the smiling chick. That looks good. Maybe extend this a little bit, right? So you want your proportions to be accurate too when you're doing these things. So if I'm doing this, and these little bars represent what's going to get cut off in the landing page itself when you actually have it launched. So I kind of have both of them in it, which is cool. Let's tweak this off to the side. Spots. I would edit the text on this. I'm probably going to make this bigger just to be more fluid with what we got going on here. So this is where you can edit your text. And then, yeah, let's extend this so it looks a little bit more fluid, bring this down. So visuals is huge. So this is a form right here. So if you want to insert a form too, if you're building a landing page from scratch, that's just right here, but it's not letting me drag and drop one because we already have one in here. But to edit your form, you just double click this, and basically you can edit anything in the form. So if I wanted to get rid of work email, let's say, and just change that to email or whatever, they have some weird stuff on here. So anything, you just click on it, and there's a little button next to it. If I don't want to click company, get rid of that, right? I probably like work email, it depends like the context, right? So this is where I would probably just change this to email. And then if I'm a clinical research study, I'm probably going to want to have their phone number to also give them a call. So we'll hit text field, and they have a ton of options. So you can either create it yourself, or you can just click phone number. So they have predefined ones which make it really easy. So phone number, and I want to make this a required field, which means it puts a little asterisk next to it. So that really helps. So boom, we're golden there. And let's see, anything else? So I would probably drag this up, and then I'm going to round the edges on this thing. So to round edges, corner radius is where you do that. And you can literally, boom. So that looks a little bit better, right? And I can kind of see both their smiling faces. So it's like, oh, sign up today? Oh, these people are smiling at me? Great, I might do that. Let's meet one-on-one. So I would probably change this. So one of the biggest things in landing pages, guys, is you want to highlight benefits. You want to highlight benefits and features, but more benefits than features. So let's meet one-on-one, where I would change this into a different headline, as I would say probably how we can help you, or how we help something blank, or what we offer you. Let's see, now it's all off. Let's go back, get our text back. But the key is, guys, when it comes down to your benefits, I found the best way to present it is in a offer you. The keyword is you. You want to personalize these things. People want to feel like they're not trying to be sold some shit. They want to feel like this is tailored toward, and they don't even know this, but if it's individualized, if you read something that says what we offer you versus what we offer, right? You're probably not going to like be as interested, but it says you, so it's like talking directly to you. So then I would go into benefits here. One of the best ways to do that is either a quick couple paragraphs. I like to use bullet points. So for some good bullet points, Unbounce is really great because it's got a ton of pre-selected images that you can use. So some of those are like checks, things for bullet points. So I'll show you guys where we can do that. right, so we go from My Images, click to Unbounce Public Images. Let that load. And I'll probably just search. You can really just play around with it, but I'll search check. That's one of my favorite ones to use. There's a green little check button for my when I make my benefits. Let's see what pops up. Boom! So we got options. So let's see what goes with this. And there's different kinds of checks, guys. So you don't have to use a green one. You don't even have to use a check, to be honest. But I just really like it. So let's use this guy right here. Choose. All right, see, now we got our little check for a bullet point to make a few of these. So we have 3 points here. I'm not going to edit the copy, but I'm just going to show you the structure for this. One, so copy and paste, copy and paste. We got 2 of them now. Let's take this, put this right here. Boom. Let's grab another one, put this right here. Small line, boom, right? So then where would also probably improve this would be in increasing the font size of this. First off, maybe extending it a little bit, right? So, and right now it's centered, so it looks kind of funky with how we have it set up. So centering is good for just long copy, but you want the basics, so that looks good right there. A little closer to our check marks. Golden. So let's get this to line up a little better. No, it's a little bit better. So let's just adjust our check marks. And I would also make this font bigger. This font's really fucking small. And I found the bigger the better with landing pages, guys. So literally, the more easy things are to read, navigate, etc. That just makes your life easier. Okay, so see how it's a little close together? I'm going to space out the lines a little bit more. Oh, that looks pretty good. And one thing they actually did well in this one was they highlighted something. So highlighting important points in your benefits and also underlining is a really good way to do that. So show you something a little bit. Cool. 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 All right, so what we offer you, right? So where I would then change this landing page a little bit. Actually, no, they have it set up well. They have a quick picture right here if you want to change this picture background. So all they did for this was they set up a section, so they just dragged a section here, and they added a picture. So if we want to change this image to something, the guy's smiling, so that works. But if you did want to change it, you get a background, and you open up your image gallery, select an image, and then to get, so sometimes when you'll upload the images, guys, what it'll do, let's get out of our images, is it'll, so you want to go to your advanced settings for this sometimes. So when that box isn't checked, it looks like this, right? So it looks kind of weird. So we want this to be stretched. And when, so I would probably put, for a clinical research study, I would put the dates. I would change my call to action to sign up now, or something that says like take action. I found your best call to actions are 2 to 3 words. But that's essentially it, guys. So we just built our first landing page, and this is just the basics on how to build it. There's a lot of science behind this in addition to how to build landing pages, but this is solely the basics. So thank you guys for checking in. I'm Aaron from Never Peak Media, and we will be posting more content soon in terms of digital marketing and what we do for our clients and also for ourselves. Thanks for checking in.